This is our first picture together since finding out the DNA results. This right here is when?
Middle school.
Middle school?
We had a snow day, and we on that snow day we went up to the mall to go take photos.
Oh wow.
Oh my God, this is when I used to steal her ID. My name is Latoya Wimberly. I'm 29 years old.
My name is Ashley Thomas. I'm 31 years old.
Hey, Mom. We met through a mutual friend. That mutual friend was absent from school one day, so that brought me and Ashley closer. Ever since then, we've been like inseparable.
Latoya and Ashley have been best friends since elementary school, but in early 2020, they found out they're sisters who share the same father, Kenneth Wimberly.
Most of the time we had the same hairstyles, so it was just like, are y'all twins? Are we walking in the street? Like, no. Like, yeah, everywhere we went, we wore the same color for a while.
I used to already take her clothes like she was my big sister. You know how when you have a best friend or you're around someone for so long, people say that you start to look like them anyway.
Toya got engaged earlier this year, and I had posted a picture of me and Toya on Facebook, and Kenny posted the same picture of her saying congratulations or whatever. And my mom's close friend had called me probably a few days later and was like, oh wow, I didn't know that you and Kenny's daughter Toya was best friends. So a few days later I was on my way to the shop and I was talking to Toya on the phone and I was like, oh, I forgot to tell you that my mom's friend know your dad. I was like, she also said that your dad knew my mom. She's like, for real?
As soon as she told me that, I just was like, let me call my dad. Like, yeah, I know her. I was like, well, that's Ashley's mom's best friend. I was like, do you know Ashley's mom? And he asked her name, and I told him the name. And he was like, yeah, me and Michelle used to mess around a little bit back in the day.
Kenneth interview, take one.
I said, oh yeah, I remember Michelle. She passed away about 10 years ago, right? She said, yeah. I said, get out of here, that's Ashley's mother? She said, yeah, that's Ashley's mother. And I said, wow, it's a small world. I said, so Mike must be her father.
We all got on a three-way. I was like, well, we got a DNA test when I was 15 with Mike, and it came back that Mike wasn't my father.
It's like, well, it's a big chance that I'm your father, Ashley.
Ashley and Kenneth decided to get a DNA test together. It came back that Kenneth was her biological father.
I've known Ashley since she was 16. So it was like nowhere impossible I could believe that she's my daughter. Well, we took the test. We got the results back through email. And I just knew I wasn't reading it right. So I called the DNA center to make sure, for confirmation, to make sure that I was getting the actual reading. And the lady at the DNA center, she said, yes, sir. She said, Ashley Thomas, your daughter. And I could have passed out.
I mean, a lot of things was running through my mind. I'm like, wow, so I bought my first car off of him. When I was having car problems, I was really calling him because I didn't know nobody else around it, that dealt with cars or whatever like that. It was just like mind-blowing.
It was very emotional for me as well, to know that I have a child out here I could have been a father to and didn't have the opportunity to be her father growing up as a young child.
I just couldn't believe that all this time we've been around each other and we are like really sisters. And Ashley, she went through a lot growing up, and all this time she could have really had, that parent there to help support her. So it just was real emotional for me.
17 years. Most people after 17 years, they break off and you don't hear from them anymore, and you run across them in traffic later on down the line.
And it's crazy, so it's 4 of us that stayed together from middle school. But for some reason, only me and Ashley have this real tight bond where we gotta talk every day. And it still don't seem real. Everybody says, hey sisters, everybody gotta say sister now. Y'all the sisters, but it still don't seem real. It really hasn't changed for me because we already were really close. Her kids were already my nephews, my kids were already hers. So it hasn't really changed. The only thing that has changed is our title as sisters.